Alright, so this is a quick little video to show you how to make your own LARP Booby Trap out of silly string, which you can, buy in any supermarket or joke store or something like that. This is just a bottle of, non-brand name silly string. I've put a bit of tape over it so there's no trademark infringement. But I just picked that up at the local supermarket. It's good for maybe sort of 30 seconds squirt. And I put it together in a little arrangement which I'm just going to show you how to put together. I've not bothered with any of the bits of me cutting out bits of wood because you all know what bits of wood look like when they're being cut out. So the things you'll need for this is a box, a drill, a few screws and a couple of bits of scrap wood. The box, just something I got out of skip. I just happened to have it lying around. You could make one from scratch if you wanted to. This one just happened to be exactly the right size and I thought, this is what I want for that project that I've wanted to do for ages. So you got your box, you've got your silly string, you need a little base to put it in. You can see I've drilled a little hole in the middle there. The silly string fits in there. The whole arrangement slides into the box like that. You're going to want to take the lid off. So there you've got your active component. And that works just like that. So we take that out. We don't want to use that just now. What we want is something that's going to depress the nozzle on the can automatically for us. And that's where this bit comes in. It's just a little paddle. It's got two holes at the end for screws there. And it's got a little catch which will hold our springs. Now this is going to go in here. You might not be able to see, but I've marked out where it fits to. And I've already drilled a hole here for the paddle to go up and down in. That looks stiff, but it's actually, there's plenty of space in it. I'll just fit that and then come back to you. So you can see now, I've fitted the paddle. Goes up and down like that, very simple. Here's our can of silly string. Push that in all the way to the back. And now, if you press down on there, you get a little squirt of silly string. So how are we going to get that to do automatically? It's easy enough. We're going to tie some elastic bands around here, up to here, which will make this lever work automatically. Now you can see, I've fitted the elastic bands. This now snaps down. There's a fair amount of force in there. You'd be surprised actually how much force it takes to depress the nozzle of the silly string can. I actually had to go back to the beginning and put about a dozen elastic bands on there. You can't really see them here, but you can add and subtract bands as you work if you find that it's not squirting out properly. Now obviously I can't put the silly string can back in here while this is like that. Because what we're going to need is a trigger mechanism that will keep the thing out of the way while we're not using it. And that's where this bit of wood comes in. It's just a little L shape. Show that a bit better without the light glaring on it. It looks like I'm having light challenges. Again, just a bit of scrap wood, hole drilled in the bottom, corresponding hole here. And I've got one of these little sheathed nuts here. Again, this is just something I had lying around. You could just use an ordinary bolt. It's going to need to be something that's thick enough to go through the wood of this and the thing. This is elementary. You all know this stuff already. And it there to fit that onto the side. You can see that's sitting there. It's holding the lever up. We pull it away, the lever pings down. Reset it, just move it back up again. And now we're ready to put it all back together. The can is in the thing. The catch is pressed up, it's hooked up on the trigger, I can flip the trigger off, and the can is now empty because that's all there is in these little cans. So I put this together maybe for a cost of a couple of pounds for the can of silly string. Everything else was just wood I had lying around in the workshop. took me maybe about an hour in total, and then an hour of trying to work out why the string wasn't coming out of the can when it turned out that I'd emptied my very first can. It's you could tie it to a tree, nail it to a wall. You could put a little front panel on here with just a hole big enough to squirt the stuff out, although you might have a problem with foiling it. Rig up a tripwire, and you've got something that's going to surprise the hell out of anybody that trips that tripwire. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that in future I'll get a camera that's slightly steadier than my phone, waving it around, and I'll see you next time.